Hello everyone, this is Nickredace coming at you with a brand new video. This time we're going to be talking about the XCOM2 RPGOverhaul Mod and what it adds. So first things first, as you can see, this is a completely different system than the standard War of the Chosen class upgrade system. And that's because what he's done, instead of having it where you get a specific class and then you choose, which of the two abilities you get, he said, you know what, let's put all the abilities on the table. And with the new AP system, you can now get any ability you want, practically as many as you want without breaking the game. So, as you can see, it has all the basic classes, some of them kind of, dumbed down: infantry, sentinel, gunner, sniper, ranger, hacker, scout, and three new ones, the Skirmisher, the Saboteur, and the Spotter. The Skirmisher is all based around the Ripjack and Skirmisher-esque abilities. So, the Skirmisher, Reckoning, allows you to wield the Ripjack, and then, of course, Justice and Wrath are the two melee abilities that the Skirmisher gets, being able to pull himself towards an enemy or pulling an enemy towards him. And then, Whiplash. Retribution, not really sure why you need that because, it's Bladestorm. And Forward Operator, which allows you to do any one action when a new group of enemies is revealed. The best out of the bunch is Manual Override, which lowers all ability cooldowns by 1, which is really good. So that's Skirmisher. The next one is Saboteur, which is kind of a Reaper-based class, I would like to say. Its first one gives you bonus to your explosive attacks, 20% crit chance for 2 more damage. Shrapnel, which if you'll remember is a Reaper ability. Now, for everyone being like, wait, how can you get Claymores? This mod allows you to equip Claymores as well, except Claymores you don't have to have an ability to equip. It also requires the Longbow 2 utility items mod, so you can also equip all those too, like sawed-off shotgun, all that. Next is Overkill, which means all of your explosives give an additional charge. Remote Start. If you remember, Remote Start was one of the more powerful abilities Reaper had, but only if your enemies wanted to stand next to a car or something like that. So it was good in certain maps. In other maps, it was completely useless. Total Combat. Total Combat is kind of the same ability the Grenader has, where you can throw a grenade or use a grenade, an item, except it doesn't end your turn. So it's good. It's alright. And then Homing Mind, which is Claymores can now attach themselves to enemies. Standard stuff. And then Sabotage, which is kind of like, what was it? It's kind of like Lethal, where all of them get a stat bonus for, everything does 2+ damage. And the last one is based off of the Holo Targeter, Spotter. So the first one, Rapid Targeting, makes the Holo Targeter actually useful, because you no longer have to waste one action to use it. Then High Def makes them easier to crit. Independent Tracking allows them to remain Holo Targeted for, I guess, more than one turn. Target Definition, they remain permanently visible, as long as they're Holo Targeted. Vital Point Targeting gives you kind of like a Rupture ability, except you don't deal damage to them. Multi-Targeting. Now, at this point, this is where Holo Targeting actually becomes really good, is with Holo Targeting, Vital Point Targeting, and High Def Targeting. And then finally, Permanent Tracking. They're always Holo Targeted and remain visible forever, which is really good when you're going against the Chosen Assassin, because you can just be like, boop, I see you now. Forever. And you take more damage. And you crit easier. There's so many things for it. So that's not the only thing that the RPGOverhaul mod adds. Not only does it add mounds upon mounds of perks you can choose for your character, it also adds something about stats. Before I get to that though, when you're up squatty upgrades, or should I say when you go from a rookie to a squatty, you get the Juggernaut, or you don't get these specific abilities, but you'll get 2 random abilities here. Now, that's good, except for one small fact where if you get something such as Deep Cover, it will mess with your Ever Vigilant. Now, I haven't seen any other abilities that do the same thing, but pretty much that's the only one. So if you want to get an Ever Vigilant, you might want to change that, because Deep Cover will make Ever Vigilant unable to be. You can't get it if you have the other. And that's because Deep Cover has it where if you run to the yellow, you hunker down. Ever Vigilant, you run to the yellow, you go into Overwatch. You obviously can't have both. So let's go on to the last thing that makes this mod extremely good, and that is the ability to change your actual stats. Now, all this is balanced. The only reason I just have a shit ton of AP points at the moment, but it's balanced. Health, all this, you can be upgraded. Now, though, you might be like, well, 12, I can upgrade them like 10 times. Well, the cost goes up every time I upgrade it. So, by 7 points more, I'm wasting 255 AP points. AP points do take a little bit to get. Like, they don't come off of trees. You get maybe 10, well, I can't say 10, like 30 a match. And you might be like, wow, God, that's a lot. Not really, since each ability costs 30. Speaking about that, though, when you level up, as you can see, the cost for all these abilities are 0. That's because this character I haven't actually leveled up at all. But when I do, such if I get run and gun, you'll notice, by the way, that ability is mutually exclusive, so there's only like 3 abilities like that. So now that I got that, all these abilities cost 30 points, and that's because the first ability of any class, I should say here, of any rank, is free. Now each match you'll usually get around 30 points, so you can usually get 2 perks every time your character levels up, which works really well with the way I do things, since I usually like to get Phantom and Run and Gun, because that means I can have them flank soldiers, and I have it where if one's revealed, they're not all revealed. But as you know, there's obviously abilities that are better than the others, such as Hunter Instincts, you know, Surgical Precision, etc. So that is pretty much all that we have for the RPG Overhaul mod. It doesn't seem like it does a lot, but that's a lot of customization right there. It's a lot of customization. What I'm probably going to be doing in my next video is I'm going to be going over the expansions. I'm going to start with the official expansions that Musnari added. And then I'll be going over the unofficial ones, such as the Gauntlet mod, the Necromancer mod. So, thank you all for watching. It's been Nickredace, and I'll see you all in the next video. Nickredace out.